What's up everyone, welcome back to more Metal Gear Solid 2 HD Edition. And we're kind of starting to get towards the business end of this game now. And in the last episode there were kind of a few failures here and there, and I had to take out the Harrier. And now that we did that, Solidus kind of revealed himself, and we found out that we're going to find out even more about him when we talk to the President, but we kind of know that him and Snake are brothers as well, so Liquid wasn't the only brother. Alright, so before we can get to him, we're going to need to kind of get out of the sticky situation that we were left in before. And that's going to involve, well, there's nothing on this side. To get the items over here, I need to do like a cartwheel, and I almost always fail this cartwheel, so I might fail straight away here. Oh yes, okay. So yeah, I almost always miss time there, and it takes a couple of goes to get used to it, but... Alright, so you might have heard the phone ring there, and that's going to be Mr. X telling you that you can use the coolant spray to get to this thing. And I mean, it's a nice item to have, the AK suppressor. I mean, finally. Actually, I probably should have a SOCOM suppressor by now, but I've obviously missed it along the way. But it's nice to have an actual, you know, something other than a tranquilizer that has a suppressor, so... Yeah, it's worth taking that little cartwheel in order to get it.
This is not a pretty sight.
Okay.
Hurry up and check the situation.
I don't think these guys are much of a threat to me, but I might as well take them out. Where's... yeah, he's there. Okay. Alright, so once we do get to the present... wrong side. Once we get to the President, we'll find out kind of what he's been doing, what's his involvement in this whole thing, and he really does kind of give a lot of insight into how the MGS world works. Okay. So there's a lot of it's a different kind of stealth through this bit. It's kind of, you get yourself into positions that you don't normally get into throughout the game, so I quite like this bit. There's no radar as well, so you have to be a bit more careful through this bit. But it's not too difficult. I think I can just run through this bit, yeah. So yeah, lots of pressing up against walls and crouching and hanging and all that kind of stuff, so they've mixed it up a little bit, so it's nice. And then you've got the dramatic kind of overhead look to see how far you have to fall.
What? I'm going to go in my pants. Nobody's looking, right?
Classic MGS kind of Easter egg type thing, I mean. Yeah, the controller vibrates when you do this. That is one serious stream of piss right there. That is impressive. Yeah. I mean, it's unnecessary, but it kind of just it adds to the kind of like realism / feel of the game. Okay. I hear ciphers. That's not good. I think when it comes to ciphers, most of the time you can just run straight through, but let me just use the newly obtained suppressor to take this thing out. I don't like aiming with these guns, but it's kind of it has a slight kind of assist, so it's not too bad. Okay. Oh shit, yeah, that's the way I need to go. Yeah, I don't think... Finally, man, it's good fun to have an AK with a suppressor, it does feel nice. Even though, like I said, I don't like the aiming, but it's good fun. Okay, that's it. Yeah, you can't go into any other struts. Let me just make sure of that, just in case there's something I'm missing. Okay, so finally we can get into Shell 2 Core, And there we're going to kind of come across a familiar situation if you've watched or if you've played MGS1. And the situation we're going to find ourselves in is going to be very familiar. Okay. Alright, let's do it.
Olga, Snake, he's here. In Shell 1.
My father had some unfinished business with him.
Olga, calm yourself. No feelings.
Then screw your plan. I've been waiting for this day for 2 years, and I will send him to the bottom of the ocean, right next to my old man.
The launch comes first.
Damn it. Where is Ocelot?
Not here.
I don't trust him.
Don't talk that way about one of your own.
He's not one of my own. He left my father to die, remember?
Olga, we'll talk later. We need to get started on the final checks for the unit.
All right. I'm headed back there.
The upper connecting bridge to Shell 1 is down.
What about the chopper?
The cam-off is out of action. Take the oil fence from strut L.
I'll tell my men to start pulling out.
Not yet. Their retrieval comes last. The intruder's still at large.
Snake.
What about the other man?
He's got luck on his side, certainly.
He survived that explosion. Listen, Olga, the code confirmation is in 1 hour. Keep the president alive until then.
I know. No one gets in here. Turn the currents on.
Of course. High voltage currents on.
The door stays shut unless the president manages to take out that circuit panel from inside the room. And it's no job for bare hands.
All right. Come back immediately.
One more thing.
What?
We leave for Russia when this business is done. I want half the money for that.
Of course. That was part of the agreement.
We start living for ourselves after this. If there's anyone who wants to stay here, I want you to take good care of them.
Gladly. Gerlukovich soldiers are the cream of the crop.
It's time they went free.
What happened to rebuilding Mother Russia?
The old man is dead. The world is a different place now.
It's your life.
Just as a reminder, I'm going to say this again, one last time. Don't try anything on us.
The feeling is mutual.
I'm in front of the room where they're keeping the president.
Everything all right?
No sign of flooding, but I can't get close to the door. The floor is electrified.
Don't test it. You'll be bacon.
Any suggestions?
Remember the Shadow Moses VR training?
Take out the circuit panel?
Right.
But there's no way into the room.
Try ventilation ducts.
Yeah, I think I see one.
Look for a remote control missile launcher. You can guide it through the duct into the room.
Then target the circuit panel. Got it.
Right, but make sure you don't hit the president.
The president is wired with nanomachines. If we know the frequency, I can raise him.
We've tried that repeatedly, but there's no response. It looks like the walls have a built-in radio shield.
So that's why Ames lost contact with him.
If you need to confirm his position, you can log into the node.
Understood.
Locate a remote control missile launcher first.
Alright, so he says that you've done the Shadow Moses VR training, I mean, which is kind of implying that you've played MGS1. And somehow, even though Raiden's done the VR training, it doesn't occur to him to use a remote control missile. So, it's a bit stupid. I mean, if he's done the VR training, he should know that that's what you need to do. Anyway, that little conversation between Olga and Solidus is interesting. I mean, I feel like you feel like a kind of tension between them. This bit is clean, if I remember correctly. It should be. Yeah, so there is an interesting tension between them, and obviously you throw Ocelot into the mix, and knowing what he did at the end of the tanker mission as well, you just don't trust him. Okay, there's some machine turrets here. I forget, when you get seen by these, do they go into alert mode or do you just get shot? I don't remember. I mean, obviously, once you play through the game once, you always kind of remember that they're there, so you don't dive in. But I mean, 9 times out of 10, you will get caught the first time you do that, because you just don't expect it to be there, and you won't have the node activated yet as well, of course. Okay. So to find this remote control missile, I need to go down to the next floor. Which involves one of the things I dislike about this game, which is the swimming stuff, or diving or whatever. But I kind of figured out, for me the easiest way to do it is to just I just use the Soliton radar, and I don't even look at Raiden. I just focus on the dot, and just move the dot the way I want it to go. Okay. So we're probably going to get a codec call saying, this is how to swim, blah blah blah. Oh, we don't. Oh, we do.
Colonel, B1 is completely flooded from what I can see.
You'll have to swim through.
I'm fine with swimming.
Stroke the water and move forward by pushing the punch button. Push it in rapid succession to swim faster.
Change your heading with the left stick. Up will take you up, down takes you lower, left and right to face those directions.
The O2 gauge will appear under your life gauge while you're underwater. The gauge corresponds to the amount of air you can hold from a single deep breath. Once the O2 gauge falls to 0, the life gauge will start to drop. You need to be aware of that.
So Raiden calls in saying that the place is flooded, and the Colonel's response is, you're going to have to swim through. Thanks for that, Colonel. Really, really useful advice. Okay. So yeah, I mean, when you first come to this bit, it could be a little bit tricky to kind of get your bearings and realise where you're going. But there's like a central corridor, like this one here, that takes you through. And that's also the same corridor that you'll be using to continue through to the other side once we deal with the President and all of that. But yeah, I mean, his O2 gauge lasts quite a long time as well, so it's not too bad. But I mean, when I used to play this game in earlier playthroughs and stuff, I really did not like swimming. Alright, so it's MGS1 time. So this time it's slightly different because we're going to have to fire it through the ventilation bit, but it's the same idea. There's 2 alternative ways of doing this, if I remember correctly. There should be like an upper vent and a lower one. I think I tend to use... Wait, let me get the extra rounds for the Nikita. Okay. Yeah, I think I tend to use this one. Alright, so what am I doing? Yeah, this bit can be tricky again for players who are newer to the game. And once you, obviously, first of all, there's lots of different ways you can go. So you're going to be kind of trying out all of the different pathways to see which one leads to the President. And once you do, then it's fine. So you might waste like the first, 3 or 4 rounds trying to find where you need to go. This is probably wrong. Yep. Alright. And then once you do get through to the President's bit, the next problem is trying not to kill the President. I mean, it sounds simple, but it's actually not as easy as you might think, because he really he does get in the way. So actually, I haven't killed the President in ages. Let me kill him. This is how you can kill the President. So, I mean, there's not actually that much space, really.
Raiden!
Okay. Right, so this time we will not assassinate the president. But I mean, as you saw, there really is not that much room, so it's an easy mistake to make.
What is
I mean, look at him. He really does, like, look at him. He just gets in the way, bastard. It's like they're purposely trying to make it difficult. Okay, so it is time to meet the President of the United States, and he is going to give some serious information. Okay.
President Johnson,
So you're finally here.
you've been expecting me?
Your equipment, that skull suit, isn't exactly standard military issue.
Are you all right, sir?
Is this some kind of sick joke? I thought you came to kill me.
What?
I'm prepared to face the consequences of my betrayal.
What are you... What the...
You're a man? Well, who are you?
FOXHOUND, sir.
FOXHOUND? I see. Now things are starting to make a little sense. Switch over to nano-communication so nobody can listen in.
Yes, sir. Do you read me, sir?
Yes.
Mr. President, it's my understanding that the terrorists have managed to input the code sequence necessary for launching a nuclear strike.
That's correct. I punched the sequence in myself.
You're working for them?
If you asked me 2 hours ago, my answer would have been yes. Right now, they're keeping me alive until my vital signs are reconfirmed.
They betrayed you?
I wouldn't quite put it that way. I wanted power. They sought destruction.
But why stoop to terrorism?
I wanted absolute power.
But you're the president. You have power.
No, I'm just a figurehead.
What?
I don't have any control. The real power is in the Patriots' hands.
The Patriots?
The truth behind this country. I'm not surprised you've never heard of them. Very few are aware of their existence, even among those with code word clearance.
Huh?
Politics, the military, the economy, they control it all. They even choose who becomes president. Putting it simply, the Patriots rule this country.
No.
Hard to believe, isn't it? But it's the truth. The space defense, income tax reduction, and national missile defense programs. Every policy that's been credited to me was actually done according to their instructions.
Space defense was initiated by Congress.
That's what the Patriots want the country to believe. It's all a show. Democracy is just a filler for textbooks. Think about it. Do you actually believe that public opinion influences the government?
No.
This country is shaped and controlled as the Patriots see fit. The people are shown what they want to believe. What you call government is actually a well-staged production aimed at satisfying the public.
Huh?
Don't look at me like that. I'm legally sane, you know.
It's not your sanity that worries me.
The Patriots. Even I don't know who the actual members are. Are they financial, political, or military leaders? No one knows who the Patriots really are. Even my instructions come from a cutout. All I've been told is that every key decision is made by a group of 12 men, known as the Wise Men's Committee.
Your office? The White House?
Merely puppets, pawns in a game. By pledging my loyalty, an insignificant son of a senator was awarded the presidency. Of course, that wasn't the only price I had to pay.
What do you mean?
Even if a pawn becomes a queen, it is still just a playing piece. I wanted to leave my own mark in history, but my ambitions were... You'll understand someday. I wished to be a member of the Patriots. I wanted to wield the power of a king instead of being an expendable pawn.
And that justifies acts of terrorism?
Yes. I'd intended to use the new Metal Gear as a bargaining chip.
Bargaining chip?
But I underestimated Solidus. He actually wants to challenge the Patriots, even if it means the destruction of the world.
What are you saying?
Whether you believe it or not, the balance of power rests in the hands of the Patriots. They regulate the country's various interests through controlled presentation, staging a drama that is palatable to the general masses. Can you imagine what would happen if they ceased to function? Picture a massive political vacuum, a space that every powermonger will try to fill for their own greedy ends. I'm talking about an unregulated power struggle, panic, civil war, chaos. Like it or not, the Patriots is an organization that must continue to exist.
So you changed your mind because you wanted to avoid global chaos.
Exactly. When I told Solidus that I wished to prevent disaster, he replied that pawns can never become players.
And who is this Solidus?